Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a ranked game on Sleeping Giant, going over the matchmaking, enemy Jean Bart, Musashi, Buffalo, Fletcher, Z46, Kitakaze. Um, really, this isn't about um, anything about the ships or compositions or anything like that. This video is about map tactics and how to royally fuck your team. Excuse my French. Just played this battle and gonna talk about Sleeping Giant. Sleeping Giant is a very fast map these days. The old clan battle stuff of playing the 1-2 line, letting things develop, it doesn't happen. There's not enough, ships on the team. The fight, you're gonna have a fight here for control over A. You're gonna have a fight here for who's gonna win the flank. That's it. Taking any ship up this flank, let alone a battleship, and you can see me right now typing in the chat, ooh, Georgia is faster than my destroyer. Guess what? Basic math says that by the time a destroyer gets here, you're faster than a destroyer battleship is going to be about right here. And what can you shoot? Nothing. You have no impact over the fight here. You can't really shoot here. And you're basically useless. So, you see right there. Ooh, I'm fast. Whoop-de-fucking-do. And yes, I'm a little fired up over this. And I'm fired up because this is completely unnecessary. This is a person that just bought into the fact that this battleship can zip across the map. What are they doing? Well, they whiffed their shots there on the Fletcher because look how far that goddamn shot is. They should be up here with the Kronstadt. They could literally be 5 kilometers closer, and they'd probably catch a piece of the guy. Instead, he's just now starting to enter the phase where he's not really going to be able to shoot reliably over the islands, and we've, in essence, lost a ship. We have a ship that can no longer affect the outcome of the battle, and that's not going to bode well for us. Buffalo radars, that tells me that he's up here. Rather than, beating around the bush, I'm just going to head straight for A. And I'm heading to A mainly to see if I can do something to detect this Buffalo, because I do have a Musashi from PSV here, who's likely going to be a fairly good player. Z46 has his Hydro up. That's helping right now. But what I'm looking at is to try to find a way to get this guy killed. This Buffalo is the linchpin that, as long as this guy holds this position, they're going to at least be able to contest the middle of the map and force us into some issues. The Fletcher that got punished really hard, he's bugging out. You can see, okay, my Georgia, we've already capped A. Look how useful he is. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the fastest battleship in the game. If not the fastest, one of the fastest, at least at this tier. And he's just now getting up to where the destroyers are already at. I'm crashing into the island right now to see if I can proxy spot this Buffalo. And he's just barely outside of my distance. Disaster 1 is taking place right now. My Kronstadt, he's reversing now, but he's going to decide to push up rather than disengage. This Buffalo's pushing up, and I'm making a decision here about, if this Buffalo goes to rush to Kronstadt, I've got AP loaded, and I'm getting ready to use my hit points, my repair, to Citadel this Buffalo. I would really like to torp this guy, but my torps are on cooldown. So I'm going to sit right here and just make this guy think about trying to push. And then my Kronstadt YOLOs opens himself up. they've got a battleship sitting right here, and it's just, this isn't going to go well. Got a Musashi back here that'll overmatch him, and that's the end of him. So we're now down 3 ships because my Z-46 is now behind the Georgia. Because why would you go this way? Okay, a Fletcher was seen there. Who cares? He's out of the fight. You know, I'm gonna pause it right here. What it when you're playing the game, think about what is a relevant position for your team. This Benham, he's doing a pretty good job screening for our Musashi. They're light here. They can't push. You know, they're doing their job. They're just trying to hold down this cap. They're trying to delay as long as they can. And really, they're doing the God's work. The Kronstadt started out strong, but overcommitted and got wrecked for really not that much more than, you know, helping us get half damage on a Fletcher. And that's really unfortunate because now we don't have radar here to help control the center. We've, in essence, ceded center of the map to the enemy team without that radar. And it's basically going to be up until we can eliminate this Buffalo from this position. There's not much anybody can do about this. I am sitting here. I am being shot at sporadically. My torps just came up, and I know that speed is of the essence. I've got 3 repairs. I'm in the cockroach. I'm gonna take the hits. You're dead, buddy. There ain't nothing you can do about it. I want you dead and gone. Put him down. Okay. Now, this has shifted the map. Okay, what are these guys doing? Okay. This Fletcher is kiting north. This Georgia is running around the island. That tells me one thing. This Georgia is likely going to eat a bunch of torpedoes because he's restricted his ability to maneuver. He can only turn into dodge torps. Z-46, being slower than the Georgia, as the Georgia himself recognized, has pushed ahead in front of the destroyer. Later, he's going to complain about the destroyers in the game not doing their job. I'm sorry, but it is not the destroyer's job to do what I just did, clearing out the radar cruisers out of the middle of the map. That's the job of the battleships. We have the Musashi here. We should have had the Georgia sitting right here, and we could have had a nice crossfire over the center of the map, and we could have farmed this Buffalo down. Or hell, we could have even pushed right up the middle of the map. The battleships could have one-shot the Buffalo, or you know, I could end up going around the corner and torping him too. It's one of those things. The guy is in such a strong position, he has to die, pretty much regardless of the hit points that it's going to cost you. The issue that we have now, Benham's dead on A-cap, or not A-cap, C-cap. Our Musashi's all alone against Kitakaze, Z-46, and Jean Bart. He's not going to be able to hold up long. And you know, he's done everything he can. I mean, both him and the Benham, they did everything they could here. They just have more ships than us down here that are able to impact that fight. The issue is, again, a destroyer and a battleship literally taking themselves out of the fight for, in the case of the Georgia, the majority of the battle. The Z-46, he's not going to be relevant for another 2 or 3 minutes, and by that time the game's already decided. Time matters in this game. What you do with the limited amount of time, your limited amount of hit points, it's absolutely critical. The game is won and lost based on that. There's the Fletcher. He's kiting north. That tells me that torpedoes are already launched on this Georgia. When I was playing this, I didn't actually see the Georgia go down. Z46 is actually using hydro, so he has maybe the chance to dodge the torps. Or at least spot the torps. Z46 is trying to do a pretty good job at screening that Fletcher. Georgia goes down. And useful Z is useful. Excuse me, buddy, you just acknowledged you're faster than any of the destroyers here. Why are you pushing out ahead of your destroyer's screen? Is that a good spot for a battleship to be beyond? Ugh. So anyway, I know this game's lost, and here's a dirty trick with the Neustrashimy. I'm timing in my head. I know there's Jean Bart. I know the Kitakaze. I know everything's pushing here. I'm going to save a star because I'll be damned if I'm going to let somebody like that make me lose a star or them save a star. I know they're not saving a star. They've done nothing in this game. So I'm just sitting here. I'm waiting for my torpedoes. Just biding the time. Okay, I know it's probably a DD on the cap. Could be the Jean Bart. Torpedoes are almost loaded. Gonna push up here. There's the Kitakaze. Gonna get a base defense here. There's the Jean Bart in the corner of my screen. Just gonna pop my repair. That's gonna let me tank damage. Unfortunately, Jean Bart's too close right now for me to drop off, so Kitakaze's farming me. But it gives me the time to get my torpedoes off and get another shot in, or two into the Kitakaze, and get some additional base defenses, plus a little bit of extra destroyer damage. If you want to YOLO ships, Neustrashimy is the king destroyer at that, and you can very easily save your star every time just coming around the corner like that and just blasting something with your torpedoes. They have plenty of alpha. I could have even put one in the Jean Bart and another into something else, but I opted for a little bit of overkill because I knew it wasn't going to live long. And just now the Z46 is starting to arrive at a position of being useful, but he's going to be outgunned because the Z46 went north. He gets spotted by probably the Musashi. I don't know why he would try to get too close to the Musashi, but there it is. And this game's going to be over. So again, obviously, taking out two ships like that, it's not gonna... You're unlikely to lose a star when the enemy team really hasn't done too much else or when your team hasn't done too much else. This game, pretty much all torpedoes, just coming around the corner and just derping stuff. Even with even with just two of the repairs, look at that. Almost 39k HP and damage received. Not another DD can do this, especially not within the time frames that damage was coming in. And this is, I've started referring to the repair as basically almost an immunity period for certain levels of damage, where if it's a DD or two shooting at you, like two Fletchers, a black, or or something around those levels of DPM, you pop your repair, you have 19, 20 seconds where you're not really taking that much damage at all. Your repair is just repairing right through it. Um, Now, in the cases where I was using it now, I was taking big burst damage, which will show on your HP bar, but you will recover a substantial amount compared to any other destroyer in the game. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this game and this little lesson on how to play Sleeping Giant. I hope this video gets seen far and wide. That way people will stop doing this nonsense of try to rush up the 3 line. The 3 line is irrelevant as fast as these ranked games are unfolding because they're destroyer heavy. By the time the enemy team has 1 or 2 destroyer kills already under their belt, because your guns aren't in the fight, that's less DPM going towards the enemy destroyers. The fight's already decided, and it's as simple as that. So, hope you guys are having a good night. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will talk to you later.